What is up, people? How are you? How is everything going? I see Nick over here. What's up, Nick? Welcome to the stream. Mortus Fortus. Yeah, I responded to your message in the chat, and you say I'm doing absolutely lovely. Honestly, thanks for asking. Well, I'm very, very glad you're doing lovely. And yeah, the Discord bot, we're fighting together, or like fighting. So yeah, it's a little bit weird to see a version of myself, which is like a villain. And Cheese is here and says, hello, what's up? Welcome to the stream, Cheese. And Nepal with the slots. What's up, Nepal? Welcome to the stream. Good to have you here. Now that you can spend a little bit more time here. And I've been seeing some of your streams. I just haven't been commenting that much. But yeah, keep it up. And yeah, so today, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Let me show you. Because yesterday, let me put this over here and over here, virtual background and remove. There we go. Okay, so we are, well, I have defined the last tasks before version 0.2.1, and I've been thinking about the roadmap that I mentioned some days before. And I have defined a lot of things about how I want the game to be. For now, I can say this is gonna take a long time to develop, so I've been cutting a lot of stuff from the game. For example, there will only be like probably this is not like I'm not saying these things like are gonna be final, but probably I'm gonna have like around 14 spells, and I'll introduce some way for you to be able to like have some combinations. I've been looking at a game that some people or some person recommended me called Dragon Marked for Death. And in that game, the witch class has a very interesting way to cast the spells. So I'm going to join that and I'm going to adapt it to this game. But I still have to like think about how I want this to work. But I've been thinking about like the overall, the overall game, you know. And Nepal, you say I got Twitch affiliate. Thank you to everyone who helped. Well, it's an amazing, amazing news. Yeah, you deserve it, dude. You deserve it. You've been on it for long now, so cool stuff. Cool stuff. And yeah, 14 spells sounds good. Yeah, because I don't want to like clutter everything with like more spells. I want to like make every single spell that there is in the game be like special enough that you are gonna be compelled to use it, you know? And Memorestano says, "What are you playing?" What's up, Memorestano? Welcome to the stream. We are not playing anything. We are developing a game. So I think you're new here. Let me show you what this game is about. And cheese, that's awesome. And Nepal, I've been playing Games of Thrones, King's Road again. Love seeing Art's reaction to me dying. Oh, and you say the potion sound effect still there? The potion sound effect for what? And Nebo say, "Oh yeah, I'll be playing your game too when you get controller support." I think I won't have controller support now. I plan to have it like very very soon because I don't know if I told you, but the other day I was talking about I changed the input system, so now we're using the new input system, and that makes it super super easy for me to add new controls. Like I can literally map things from the controller to actions. All right, so yeah, for Mamorestano that just joined, this is what the game is about. Like you are a wizard and you can select some spells. You can do arrow combinations to select them. And for example, I did up, left, left, up, and I get my fire spell that's gonna that's gonna like do fire damage, making the enemies receive damage over time. There we have the ice bomb. We have the ice bomb, which slows down the enemies, and we have the chain lightning spell, which I have to rework. But currently it just does like a stun for the enemies. I still have to like do a rework, but I was thinking, you remember that I said that I was going to do like, instead of having to do like up, left, down, and right with the arrow keys, I want to have like some sort of like input that you input with the mouse, so you don't have to like lift your hand from the mouse itself to cast the spells. And I will probably like adapt. I'll do some other way, maybe with the I don't know how you call them, but the directions of the gamepad. And that one guy is here, says, whatever is that first word, and says, "Hello, Roman. Can't stay long, so I just wanted to say hi." Thank you very much for coming to the stream and saying hi. I really, really appreciate it. And how are you? How's it going? And Kavisha Visal says, "First time see that game." Yes, it's a game I've been working on for almost like 4 months now, and we were just the last thing that we did was making a boss for the game, and now we're just fixing bugs. And the last task that we have for before version 0.2.1 is basically these 4 things, and probably not this one. I think I'll rework the spell later in another version, because I think since I'm going to do a rework of the UI and input redesign, I will probably like change that then when I'm like more sure what I want to do with all of the spells. And yeah, hi Capiche. Hi, welcome to the stream. And Mamoristano, you say nice. I'm very glad you like it. And Cheese, you say, Roman, you have to listen how to pronounce Chess? I don't know how to pronounce that. Not for you to say it correctly, but because it's funny. Alrighty. Well, you'll have to teach me, okay? You'll have to teach me. And Mamoristano, you say just chilling? Alrighty. Okay, so the first thing that is important for the game that we really need to fix is the alive enemies not being counted correctly. This is basically, well, there are a lot of screenshots that I took from you talking or chatting in the Discord server about the problems. Mostly Nicked and Mijo detected the problems with the when things don't being counted correctly. So yeah, I looked at the. Let me pull up the wave manager script so I can show you. Because I think that the problem should be over there. Yeah. So the problem is basically in some waves, the enemies don't get counted correctly when they die. So either there are extra enemies after the wave ended, or you can't end the wave because no more enemies are appearing, or there's like missing enemies, you know? And she's to say, no, I don't think I'm able to say you how to do it. Just search it up, please. Okay, I will. I will. Give me just one sec. I'm going to uh, copy it over here, and Nepo, you say down the line, if Nick and Michal need work, I'll be reaching out to them. Yeah, the unpaid labor. Well, they have been very, very helpful, and I really, really appreciate you trying the game. Okay. Let me just hear. How do you pronounce that? I'm curious. Let's do translate. I'm gonna detect the language. Polish detected.
Cześć.
Cześć? Is that how you pronounce it?
Cześć. Cześć.
Cześć. There you go. That's my best attempt. And Nepo say, seriously, Nick made me rethink a ton of stuff. What a guy. Yes. What a guy, Nick. He destroyed my whole game and my whole career. But we love him. And no, but for real, he has been like super, super helpful with like actually designing the game, because I suck at designing it. So he has been like telling me, hey, you suck. Like, you need to step your game up. And yeah, Miho, Burns, yep. And Miho is there on the Discord chat. What's up, Miho? Welcome to the stream. And Kavish Vishal, you say, ho ho, looks like we have a hacker. No, this is not like hacking or anything. It's just like regular scripting. And Art is over here, says, yo, what's up, Art? Welcome to the stream. How are you, dude? It's good to have you here. How's it going? Yeah, the Nick schizophrenic session. All right. So I have multiple places where I want to change stuff. Mainly, I was doing some testing like outside, well, outside of the stream, and I noticed that I have. Let me search this up. So it's alive enemies game objects. That's a list, and in there, when you defeat a wave, sometimes there are there are remaining enemies there that are in the list but are disabled, so they are staying there, and so the count doesn't go lower than 0, but they are like disabled and everything. And yeah, does romanleco work in here? Okay, so here I think I took some notes. I took some notes of what I want to fix. So I want to make sure that the list of alive enemies is 0 when the reset subway method, let's call things for what they are, method gets called. I also want to clear the alive enemies game objects list on the subwave ended. So when it ends, I'm just gonna clear whatever is there. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is. I should check if it's disabled, because if it's not disabled, like there are enemies that you haven't defeated yet. And are you say doing okay? Drifting around. We'll be back. Alrighty. Okay. No, I'm glad you're okay. And Mortis, you say, you know what would be funny if romanleco has his fake version as a bot in his streams, but beside him, that he can talk to the AI version of him, only you call him fake, and then he will respond. That would be a cool idea, to be honest. We could try that one day. I don't know if it works over here, but we could try that. And Kavish, you say I like coding. Well, what type of coding are you into, Kavish? Or Kavisha? Game dev, web dev, AI, robotics, some of those, or another field. And Miho, you say, what happens if we mention Rowan? Well, if you do it on the Discord, I think it should show up here, right? I don't know. Okay, so yeah, make sure that that's only count towards the quota when count spawn is true. So I'm not going to count the deaths if basically the wave ended. I'm still not sure about this one, to be honest. We're gonna try this stuff. Make sure enemies always call the enemy death function on death. This is just like checking if it's happening. I think it's happening all the time, but I need to like check that. And I think I'm going to move this in order because yeah, I think it's better if we check stuff being called first and then we continue. And here, if the enemy, yeah, that's one thing that I would like to change because over here, let me see. Here, in enemy quota achieved is less than the current subwave enemy quota. That means that basically I can't keep spawning. But why would I use this if I can just have like one source of truth that's gonna determine this? So I'm just gonna do can spawn, because if you see can spawn, that's it. So if you see over here, well, I'm already doing this, to be honest. I wouldn't really need to do this, will I? Would I? Because I am already using can't spawn. If I can't spawn, I'm gonna say subway data, current subway data, whatever. If it's not null, or if it's null, I'm going to return. Otherwise, I want to like continue doing whatever I'm doing here. So I'm just gonna get this out of here because I'm already doing one check. Like that would be redundant, you know? So getting this out of here, and I'm just going to format this better. So over here, I'm gonna select every single space, and we have 3 more. 1, 2, 3, and delete, so we get this properly formatted. It doesn't show over here. Oh, what a shame. And Cheesy say, honestly, you're just fortunate I totally tolerate you. You're locked in my basement for a reason, you know? Sad skin cat. Yeah, it's Rowan. Yeah, Rowan's great. I saw all the messages that you were like when you were chatting with him. That's hilarious, to be honest. It's like a caricature of how you portray me as a villain. Okay, so now that we have that, let's just get that out of the way. This is true. Now make sure enemies always call the enemy death function on death. So let's go to the enemy health over here. Let's just find enemy health. Yeah, very entertaining. Let's go enemy health. Let's wait for this to load. Oh, also I switched to version 6.03 of Unity. It's the latest version because it basically told me, like, it gave me a warning, like there's something wrong with the version you're using, like you should switch to the latest. So I just switched. I didn't really have any problem with it, but if we find anything with the textures or whatever, it may be related to the new version. Okay, so let's go to enemy health. And we're inheriting from enemy health on the other script, so we should be fine. Let's see. So over here, I'm just gonna find wave manager. Yeah, I'm just calling it here on die. And what happens before, I'd like to know. And because I have a health script, so in here, in the in here. Yeah, so on die, I want to check what is happening in the vase. What is the vase behavior that happens before this? So I am going to go there. Let's go to health, and I'm gonna search die. So over here, we have 1, 2, and 3. This is the definition of that method. So over here, we're just doing like the base behavior of this is playing the dead sound effect, setting this to is dead, activate the status. Well, we're just going to make the status effect that we had on this entity clear, like no more status effect. We are dead, so we don't need them. And we're also going to make sure that for every single active like status particle that's attached to the entity, we're gonna make sure that it basically is not parented to this object and it's set to false. Also removing all statuses, like basically resetting. So we want to keep that. We don't need to remove this. Now, the only call that's happening here is wave manager instance enemy death. So we are making sure that every single enemy is calling the enemy death. There is nothing overriding it or anything. So this is getting called 100% of the times, or at least it should. Okay, so now that we know that, we need to make sure that, for example, in other scripts that are inheriting this, I think there are maybe 2. Maybe the other enemy script, the flying enemy. So it gets counted correctly. We need to make sure that happens. So over here on die, I am going to do the base die. But before that, I want to reset the air slot. Great. We are making sure that it is running. Okay. So let's go over here and we're gonna say, make sure enemies always call the enemy death function on death. And there is one last position where it could show up to, because we have the big guy, which is really big boy health. And there, we need to make sure that we are also calling it on die. Let's go. Yeah, we are not overriding it. We are not overriding it, so it should be fine. We're inheriting from enemy health, not overriding it, should be fine. And to say, snow was not too bad. What are you on? Yeah, I saw a ton of scripts. A sign of a healthy project. What am I on? I'm just doing some fixes for some problems that were reported by Nick and Michal. Because I had on the waves, like basically when you finish a wave, sometimes the shield of the thing that you have to break to go to the next one wasn't really disabling. So yeah, that's it. And Cheese, you say, all right, I have to go. Bye. Well, it was a pleasure having you here, Cheese, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye. Yeah, bug squatching, exactly. Okay, so now that we did those 2 checks, I'm gonna make sure that the list of alive enemies is 0 when the reset subwave method gets called. Yeah, let's do that. Alive enemies is 0 on reset subwave. Over here. Reset subwave. So over here, what am I actually doing? On reset subwave, okay, yeah, it's just doing this. Alive enemies, game objects. I'm just gonna clear this. And what I could do too, just to make sure, there shouldn't be any enemies here. There shouldn't be. But in case there are, yeah, in case there are, I don't want to just clear them. I would like to actually check if the alive enemies that count is more than 0 first. And if that's the case, I want to do a 4. So I'm going to like make sure those are dead, you know? So I'm not going to like I'm going to be able to reuse them. And hard to say. I don't believe in bugs. They do not exist. It's not a real thing. Oh, okay, I'm just gonna save and I'm just going to do a new version then. If they are not real, like why bother, right? Um, yeah, in the current build, like there are so many things that went wrong. But I faced most of them already. Yeah, it's pretty bad. And EXP bar is here says there are many bugs. What's up, EXP bar? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, in the version that's out there, yes. In this one, not many, but there are still. Let's do int enemy index equals 0. Enemy index is less than alive enemies game objects that count, and enemy index plus plus. Okay, so in this for, what do we want to do? We want to check if the alive enemies game object, the current enemy index, is active, or well, what is this type? It's a game object, so I really need to get, well, if it's a game object, I can just do enabled or active or enabled, active self maybe, active self. And if it's active, then I want to, what do I want to do? Because I could just disable it, but there are things inside it that might not like that. Because over here, for example, if I go, yeah, I would have to reset the enemy. So set the current health to max health. Is dead equal false? Or remove fire status, remove ice status, remove electricity status. Like basically doing a reset over here. But will I? Am I making a reset when? Where am I calling this? Because I should be resetting whenever I want to instantiate another one, like just to be sure. So in enemies manager, let's check that. I should be doing it, but let's check that. And if we are not doing it, then we have to. So over here on spawn enemy, whenever we spawn it, we are resetting the enemy. Yeah, we're fine. So I can just disable it, I believe. Let's do. If it's active, then I'm just gonna do alive enemies game objects enemy index dot set active is false, and then after every single enemy that was enabled is disabled, I am going to clear the list, and that should be fine, I believe. And that one guy is over there on Discord, and yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that either with that exp bar. And need to say, at least they are very fun to play with. Yeah, those are fun bugs, to be honest. I kind of didn't want to remove some of them. Like I would like you to be able to cast spells while you are paused, because it's fun. But yeah, if I don't remove it now, it's gonna be harder to do it down the line, when there are more things. And that one guy, you say, I'm almost on section 2 of Polish. Oh, you're talking about Duolingo? You're almost on section 2? Okay, make sure the list of alive enemies is 0 when the reset subway method gets called. Done. Now, clear the alive enemies game objects list on subwave ended. Let's go on subwave ended. Let's do subwave ended. And on here, when it ends, I want to clear that too, right? Clear alive enemies. But where am I calling? Yeah, when the subwave ends, it's just where when am I calling? When am I calling the reset? Yeah, reset subwave. I'm calling it on start new wave. Okay. But this is not. Why is it called reset subwave? Then, if I'm resetting more than the subwave, subwave. Because here I am. Yeah, this seems to be a reset subwave, but I'm calling it as if it were um for resetting the whole like wave, all of the waves. So where am I calling this? I'm calling it here too. On subwave on position. Okay. When I do a subwave on position, I'm also doing this, so it makes a lot more sense. And EXP bar, you say, will you translate the game to Polish? That sounds like a good idea. I don't really know about translation, to be honest. I could put everything into a document, so it's way easier to translate. Um, I think after I'll think about the translations after I have like the game release probably, or when we're closer to release, I'm gonna think about what languages I would like to have the game on. Um, I'm going to include Spanish for sure because it will be like super easy for me to do because I can speak that language. But for Polish, like either I will get a lot of help from people in the community, or I won't. But yeah, I'll try to. I'll try to like have it translated to multiple languages. Confirmed languages are English. That's it, and probably Spanish, but that's not confirmed. Okay, so here reset subwave. We're fine with this on reset subwave. Yeah, whatever. Now, alive enemies game objects list on subwave ended. But what if I clear the list on subwave ended? Let's check where that is, because I wouldn't like to clear that before I do a reset, because I'm using the reset to disable whatever was left. So let's do subwave. What was that? It's yeah, subwave ended. Subwave ended. Yeah, so over here, what happens first? I think this one happens first, and then we have the reset. So I think what I will do is I'm gonna go to the reset that we just did, like everything that we just did. I'm gonna pause to yeah over here. So I'm just gonna keep the clear, but I'm going to copy all of this over here. Let me just delete this. Live enemies clear, and on subwave ended, I am going to paste this. And I could probably do this before I increment the subwave index. I think that's fine. Now, that is done, and I also did this one. Make sure enemies always call the enemy death function on death. Make sure deaths only count towards the quota when count spawn is true. I don't think I did this one. Deaths only count towards the quota when count spawn is true. So let's go to the death, enemy death, because that's where I'm counting the deaths. And over here, I think this is a more the most important thing when dealing with this problem, this method. I think I want to change something. So the first thing that I should do is, instead of increasing the amount of like the enemy quota, I want to first check if the enemy that I just killed or destroyed, whatever you want to call it, exists on the list of alive enemies. And if it exists, I'm just going to remove it from that list. Now, it should disable automatically, like the disabling of it is part of the enemy behavior itself. So, like, the enemy itself is gonna like manage when it's gonna disable. But yeah, I'm just going to check first if the alive enemies game objects contains the current enemy, and I'm going to remove that. Now, I want to increase the amount, and currently for everything I think it's 0, but or sorry, 1. Just every single like entity has a value of 1 towards the quota that you have to achieve. But yeah, let's continue. Over here, basically in enemy quota achieved is more or equal than the basically the subwave enemy quota. So if it's more or equal, I'm gonna say can spawn equals false. And I basically want to I'm only going to do this if can spawn is true, probably. If can spawn is true. Or I can just do, yeah, just for is of reading, I'm just gonna do this this way. Because you can also like leave it like this, but I'm just gonna make sure I put everything like this. And Godfather is over here. What's up, Godfather? Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Okay. So if can spawn is true, I'm gonna do what? I want to do enemy quota at shift. I'm gonna increase this. Oh, like this. And yeah, over here, just moving this. So now the enemy quota at shift can only increase when can spawn is true, because if it's false, yeah, if it's false, I wouldn't need to like spawn anything, right? So over here, if can spawn is false and alive enemies game objects that count is less than 1, I'm going to say spawn core shield script shield break. So that is the shield break is what is disabling the shield. So if we have a problem this line, like line 367, this could make, like, basically this is what defines if we have an error or not on the disabling of the shield. So let's look at this and let's see, or let's think about what errors could be happening over here, because we have had problems with this. And French Prime Minister is over here. Always an honor to have you. You say hi. What's up? What's up? How's it going, French Prime Minister? How's it going? So yeah, the thing is, there are instances and there are like places where I have enemies in that list that are disabled but are still there, you know? And French Prime Minister, you said just came from HOI floor. What is HO Hearts of Iron for? Okay. And playing mod T and O. I don't know that mod, but I know about Hearts of Iron. My brother really likes that game. Let's see over here, and it should be fixed now, right? I just checked what you said, Nicked. Yeah, stream avatar. Always happens. And Mijo is over here on the YouTube chat. What's up, Mijo? How's it going? Okay. So over here, I would like to check if there are alive enemies that are disabled, because alive enemies shouldn't be. So on enemy death, the thing is, I don't want to check every single, like I don't want to do a for loop every single time that I have an enemy dying, because it wouldn't make a lot of sense. But that would be an option to make sure the shield always drops. But I'm just going to save, and I want to try this. I want to see if anything broke or if it's fixed. It's gonna be like super hard to try this. Like knowing if I fixed it, because it doesn't happen all the time, you know. French Prime Minister, you say, Mijo, hello, I'm your brother. Je suis un croissant. Je tu... No sé qué, I don't know what is. Toy un croissant? I don't know. That's where my French ends. Okay, so over here, I just want to like play a normal wave, and let's see if I can like get it to break. And I think you probably will have to like tell me if it's still happening, because yeah, for more, I can't really test it that much during stream, because I will be like just testing it and testing it and testing it. But yeah, when we have version 0.2.1, you tell me if everything is fine. I'm just going to try it like 2 or 3 times maybe, and if everything works, I'm just gonna move on, because I will need like feedback. And if it keeps happening, I will do like probably a rework of the wave manager, and I'll make it like work better probably. Nick, you say you can get me. And French Prime Minister, you say disrespectful? Nah, I don't think it is. Okay, let's see. So we have one wave done, and I don't know, did you notice like any particular like wave number where this happened? Like it was always on the first, or always on the last, or always in the second? I don't know. You tell me if you found that a certain number of waves always broke this, or where this always happened. You tell me. And also, in the change that I did, yeah, if there's a problem over here, the shield won't drop, but the counting should be fine now, because the subwave ended now. Basically disables all the alive enemies and makes them, like clears them, you know? So we shouldn't have a problem over there. And on reset, subwave. I don't think we should have that either, because basically alive enemies game objects, it's cleared. Okay. Let's continue this, and I just want to try it like a couple of times, and then we're gonna move on. And this should solve 2 problems really. Make sure that's only count towards the quota when count spawn is true. I already did that. And this should also fix the problem with the invincible cube, because the invincible cube bug happens because of line, it was 367, or yeah, what a number, 367. So in here, this is the only line that may cause problems with the shield not dropping. And Nick, you say always a non-first one. I found it happening more when I killed Big Boy too. Okay. And you say, but that might be a coincidence because more time for it to happen. Okay, I'm gonna try that out. I will try to beat the big boy. And I think I was playing the game, like testing it in the morning, and I noticed that it is kind of hard to beat the guy. Like you barely deal any damage, even when he's staggered. So I'm gonna make the big boy take more damage. Like the multiplier of damage when he is staggered is gonna be larger, because otherwise it's gonna be like super hard to beat him. And I had to like get him staggered like 3 times. So probably it's better if I make it take more damage. Like, it's not going to be weaker. It's gonna take more damage when he is staggered. Okay, no problems so far. No problem so far. But I missed everything. There we go. Okay, let's go to the next one. Yeah, that bug is so annoying because it has been like there are many bugs in the game that we have found and fixed, but not all of them are like super important. Like, for example, if the animation of an enemy breaks, like it is kind of annoying. Like you wouldn't want it to happen, but it's not that important. Like, you can always like just kill it, or oh, what is this guy doing over here? We have to fix that too. But yeah, it's not like game breaking, you know? The destiny of that guy wasn't the best. Okay, let's go over here. I noticed that I haven't really set the number of enemies that spawn to the debug numbers, and I'm like actually just beating the regular number of enemies. And here I think we have that error showing up. Okay, so let's pause, and we're gonna pause over here, and it's actually fine. So I can like show you what is happening, because over here, if I go to debug mode on debug, and I go to the wave manager, it's probably like a disabled enemy on the alive enemies game objects list. So let's go over here. Like, I'm just reading where is that list. I don't think it's like showing up normally. I can see it because I'm on debug mode, but I shouldn't be able to see him normally. So it should be grayed out. Okay, so here, subwave index, subwave started, available enemy list index, enemy quota achieved, current spawn point, last generated subwave. Okay, yeah. Spawner core shield. And Nick just say, wait, what happens, Nick? So on wave manager, I just have to find. Yeah, there you go. There you go. So there are 2 enemies that are dead, and they are still on that list. So that is what creates a problem over here. That is what creates a problem over here. Because if you see alive enemies game objects that count is less than 1, like it needs to be 0 basically, then the shield is going to break. Otherwise it won't. And Nick, you say, well, exclamation mark, double exclamation mark. What happened, Nick? And by the way, for since Monday, I've been streaming, like basically sending 4,000 kilobytes per second instead of the 6,000 that I normally send. So I would like you to tell me, like, is the stream quality okay? Because now we have like 2/3 of the kilobytes per second that I was sending normally. Nick, you say they are alive? I saw it happening. They are alive. Where are they? They are disabled. Like, when you get up, They would fly through the textures. Let's see. We can see what the list is like because we have it over here. It's a live enemies game object, so we can like literally go where they are. So if we go F, here they are. Now, I believe. Okay, this is different because the last time that I had this problem, it was really about this not being like this being disabled, but it's still on the list. Now they are here, you know. And Nepal is testing. Yeah, why did some of my messages not show? I don't know. Like due to flagging is incredibly bad. And then you say, I always go to the snow zone and they just like appear. You say, I talked about the last stream, I think. It's always in that zone. You say, yeah, recently it's worse. Yeah, the flagging. Okay, so what can we do about this, guys? I would like to unpause and see what they are doing. Because I could like, but why are they there? Why are they there? It's very silly. Because there's not only a barrier they can go through. You know what I could do? The enemies, no enemy should go there. And I'm probably gonna switch the spawning. When I expand the game, I'm going to switch the spawning function. But for now, an easy fix for this would be making basically a cube that's gonna make sure that inside that part of the map, we don't have a nap mesh. And Ninja say, I can't talk about a thing not being alive. Okay. And Nepal say, okay, I gotta get back to it. Have a nice stream. Well, thank you very, very much for joining, Nepal. Really, really appreciate it. And good luck with everything, dude. Keep it up. Really. Bye-bye. Good luck. Take care. Okay. So over here, let's see, because if I, for example, if I go there, if I go here, will they be able to leave this part? It seems like they are trying. Okay, they can't. So I would need to like leave the area and then come here. So it's not really a problem of counting anymore, or at least the counting problem is solved. The problem really comes with not being able to like kill them. And Moino is over on Discord. What's up, Moino? Welcome to the stream. How's it going? So now I should be able to kill this. And I want to see if it happens again. And I want to see, like, not only if it happens again, because it will happen again, probably, but rather how it happens. And there... Where's the flying enemy clone? Okay. Yeah, how it happens, because if it happens with enemies that are alive, it's actually okay. I don't really mind that at all. Because... like, yeah, it's just a matter of spawning them correctly and making sure that they are not in spaces where they shouldn't be. But in case that there are enemies that are disabled and are still on the list, I will have to do another like test or check for that. And I'm getting some spikes. Let me also go into window. let's do analysis, profiler. Let's bring the profiler. I'm gonna put the profiler over here, just because I wanna see what's happening with the profiler. Let's put this over here. So there were some things making the game run worse over here. And my left, you say, "Oh, beautiful outfit. What's up, Roman? Thank you." It's a new shirt that I had to like. Yeah, I don't really like buy a lot of clothes, like any like at all. But since I got robbed, I had to. You know, like I didn't have a lot of clothes left. Yeah. I like the shirt. It's pretty nice. I like it. And it only cost me like $4, so pretty nice. Okay, so this thing over here is, well, during these frames I am getting like drops in performance, and I'm constantly like getting towards 60 FPS when I should really get way more. So it's part of others. It's not part of rendering. Like rendering barely uses any yeah, rendering barely uses any performance. It's not physics, it's not animation. Like animation, I barely have any animation. Garbage collector is barely visible. Like on the code, I've been making sure that the garbage collection like is fine. And mine left, you say you need a picture, bro, next to the seat. Why? UI barely uses anything. It's just others. Like others are using like mainly everything in terms of performance. I have a hunch. It might be AI. It might be the AI calculation. Maybe it's because I think I have somewhere, maybe on the brain, I'm constantly checking for a nav mesh or something. So it could be that. Okay, let's unpause this and let's do resume. Nicola says, please. What's up, Nicola? Welcome to the stream. Okay, let's beat these guys, and we're fine with like it works, so we're fine. Now, I just want to play. I don't know, another like wave probably, and see if it happens. Because if it happens, I want to like check the way it happens, the bug happens, so I can like take measures like against that, so it doesn't happen again. And iLies says, hi, what's up, iLies? Welcome to the stream. How's it going? And you say, how was that artificial stupidity program? Fake romanleco. The artificial stupidity. Well, the AI was totally programmed by me, so I might have done something wrong. And iLies, you say, what do you think is better for performance? Xbox, and give me just 1 second. Let me do this. And here we go. On iLies, yeah, what is better for performance? Xbox Series X or PlayStation? I don't really know. I'm not really into consoles. Like, I'm not a console player, so I couldn't really tell you. But I would guess like any of those will be up to like the regular like standards of games, because they are the most popular consoles over there, or like out there. So I would say probably anyone. If I were to get a console, I would probably get a PS5, just because it has like more games that are just for the PS5. Like more exclusives. Because I think most of the games that are coming from Xbox or Microsoft rather, are not exclusives. And one left, you say, he's so boastful. I demand he be transferred from fake romanleco to real romanleco. Yeah, I don't know about that. I need to increase the multiplier. And I got an argument out of range exception. What is this about? Spell instantiate. Spell that as... I haven't got this problem, like, ever. And I like to say, how long have you been making this one game? Like 4 months now. Something like 4 months. And tell me, are you into game development or programming or maybe arts? Like, I don't know, 3D modeling to the art, animation or something? Or if you're into programming, AI, websites, robotics, something like that? Or just curious? Okay, let's see. I think the boss is a little bit easier to dodge now, so that's very good. Yeah, I'm going to make it public. Like, if you want to try the game, you can do it right now on the... There's a link in the description. If you're on the vertical stream, you will... Well, it's gonna be the second link, I believe, in the description. But yeah, it's over there. And I can't really die because I'm in debug mode. But it's very hard to beat this guy. What I'm trying to check is just the spawning. Like, I don't really care about all of these messages that I got here. I would like to, like, leave this... I'm gonna leave a comment for myself. There is an error here. And... it says index was out of range. I'm just going to copy this for reference later. I think I could save this, to be honest. Like, I could leave it over here. Let's go to Notion. And exceptions. I'm just gonna put it over here so I remember where it is. And yeah, it's called Wizard Game Untitled. That is the game. So if you want to try it, it's completely free. Just download it and tell me what you think about it. Also, if you have any like recommendations or whatever, feel free to tell me. I think this is the stream that I played the game the most, to be honest. Because like I really need to find how often that happens, how it happens. Like, it's a lot of testing. Okay, this guy should be dead here very soon. Okay, there we go. It died, and now we can defeat this. And now we should be we need to go to the hub to start a new wave. So let's get there. And I like to say, how long have you been making games for? Not just this one. I've been making games, I would say like 3 years. 3 years, like up like full time, really like making games and yeah, like making them. But I started when I was 15. I'm now 22. But I took it seriously like at 17. and there was like a year where I didn't do anything. So yeah, like 3 years. And more left, you say you are a professional. Well, thank you very much. And Green, you say just one more day. One more day before day 50. What's up, Green? Welcome to the stream, by the way. And Mortus Fortus, you say, I know it's both consoles. Yeah, no, I'm not sure about consoles. I plan to have like controller support, but I will see if we put it to consoles. I haven't released anything on console, so I don't know how the process goes. And Embertus MC says, "Hey man, you play Geometry Dash? What's up, Embertus? Welcome to the stream. I don't really play Geometry Dash. I have played before, but I don't now. There are a lot of people in the community that really like Geometry Dash. For example, Cheese, which is a member of our community. Well, not Cheese. I think Cheese played too, but that one guy, which is also called Born, always talks about Geometry Dash. Okay, so let's go enter this place, and when we go out, there should be another wave appear. And Green, you say, is this your biggest project currently? Yes, it is the biggest project that I've made so far, or that I plan to make. Maybe there are projects similar in size. Like I remember Blendguard took me... Well, Blendguard took me like 2 months to complete everything. But this one I plan to make it a year, and we currently have been developing this for like 4 months. Okay. On Moina Love, you say how to analyze the errors you encounter in the console. Yeah, that's the thing. There are, I believe, you can have a debug version, like compile a debug version to try it on your console, and also there may be some other ways to like connect your computer to the console to try and see the logs on that way you can like see what everything like everything that is happening inside the game. Those are the ways that I know. I haven't done it, so I couldn't really tell you. And I like to say, you put so much effort and time into these games. I wish you to be good game creator, which with much popular games. I hope you make fantastic games where everyone plays. I wish you luck, my brother. Well, thank you very much for the very kind words. I really appreciate it. And you say, I believe you will be a big game creator. Well, I hope so. I hope so. I will do my best to make your words come true. And Embers, you say, may I ask what you're doing? Yes, I'm just testing something. Like I barely, I normally don't play the game a lot during the stream. But now I'm just testing if there are some places where if you go to these zones and you defeat all the enemies, sometimes the shield that is on that thing over there, that thing doesn't really drop, so you can't really advance anymore. And that's pretty annoying because you can't really like continue playing. You will have to like restart the game. So I'm just trying to make that that doesn't happen. The way to do that is like basically trying to get the error. And when I get the error, basically analyzing what may be happening with the game running. So when I don't have the game running, I can go back and like know where to go to fix stuff, you know? Okay, I'm just gonna do like maybe two more waves, and I'm just going to assume that the problem is kind of gone. We also have to make sure that well, there is a chance that some of the enemies that we have on the game are not appearing where they should, so you can't really destroy them, and you won't be able to progress because you can't destroy them. So I need to make sure they don't spawn in invalid places. But that's what I've found so far. I want to see if I get the same problem again, and if I get it again, I can see if there may be other thing happening apart from what I just said. And I like to say, how do you go on full screen if you can? Full screen, well, if you are on the vertical stream, are you in the vertical or horizontal? Because, well, I see you on horizontal. I could go, well, if I do this, this is the closest I can get to full screen right now. But I normally have the other thing showing up because I normally don't play for that long. I'm normally like just coding or doing something else. But yeah, while we are trying this for kind of a long time, I can make the game a little bit larger. And also I make it this way because if you see, I have 2 streams running. There's one for vertical stream and another horizontal. So if I had it in the other, like not on full screen, everyone can watch everything or mostly everything, you know? And oh, if you're trying the game and you want to go full screen, you can do Alt, like ALT that key, and enter. Alt, enter, and you will be taken to full screen. And you say, Allies, you should make a full screen toggle and show a tutorial on the controls and show how to play it. Yes, I should. If you go here, on escape, if you press escape and press settings, you will have a full screen mode. So you can go over here and say exclusive full screen window, maximize window, and windowed. So if you go exclusive full screen or full screen window, you will get your game in full screen. Or you can just do Alt Enter, and it will work that way. Yeah, so it's already there. It's not a toggle, but it's like a slide you can see over here on video, full screen mode. Okay, I'm just gonna try to get to the boss again, and once we get to the boss again, I'm going to just check if everything is all right. And let me put this over here again, just because I want to see what's happening with in the hierarchy. Oh, okay. Oh, this is fine. So far, everything is fine. And I think that the most, like the best way to beat this guy is using the ice bomb, because that's the only spell that really deals a status effect. So I'm just gonna have my fireballs prepared to attack this guy. And more than a sec, I'm going to explain what the problem really is. Because now it's not happening. Now the problem doesn't happen always, and that is the biggest problem. Like, it just doesn't happen always. And I see I have another problem where the health bar of this guy doesn't really show up, which I didn't even know was a problem. But yeah, I guess we have to make it show. And we're barely doing any damage to him because like we have to wait until he's staggered. Like he has some attacks. Oh, he also has this attack. When you're very close to him, he can do that like fist slam, like doing that with his hands. But it's only when you're super close. Then the normal attack he's gonna do is well, the charges, and after 3 charges he's gonna get staggered and you're gonna deal a lot more damage. Yeah, but the other attack is, you'll see, this one. So when he stomps, a spike comes out of the ground. And we should be close to killing him, to be honest. I think we're close. and I changed the way the animation works. So before he attacks, he's gonna do like that animation. So, because if I just rely on sound effects, it's gonna be like kind of unfair for the player. It's harder for the player to actually know when he's about to attack. Okay, he should. Okay, yeah, there we go, destroyed. Now, I'm just gonna check one more wave, and I promise this is the last wave that I go to. I have to go to the hub again, and this is the last wave that I go to, and I just noticed one more error. I just noticed that when you go defeat the boss for a second time, the health bar is not showing up. So I'm gonna make sure I also fix that. And yeah, let's go over here. Let's see if when I beat this wave, nothing wrong happens, and I'm just gonna move on from this error and continue with the next one. So this shouldn't be that hard. And yeah, it should be super easy because like I can't really die because I'm on debug mode, but I shouldn't have died anyway. I don't think I have taken that much damage. Okay, we're close to finishing the wave. If you see the more white this thing gets, the closer we are to finishing it. Okay, that's it. I think everything is fine. Mostly, I see a lot of errors popping up. I wanna only see the errors. Where are the errors? Current wave data. If it's not null, return the result. See, oh, that looks really cool. You say, Embers, and Moin Life, you say, oh, that's so good. You're smart, approved. Oh, thanks. So I'm just gonna gather everything that I found in the exceptions and see if like I can get this, because probably here like it's not really that bad that I get these errors, but maybe when you're playing it, if these errors show up, they may crash your game. Null reference exception over here. Uh, yeah, let me put this over here on Notion so I can look at them later. Null reference exception, index out of range. Okay. Yeah, it may be something with to do with the subwave index. Yeah, you found the toggle for slow motion. So we have a toggle for slow motion. It's secret, like I didn't put it anywhere. Just because it's a debugging tool, like there you shouldn't be able to do it. It's there just for debugging purposes. And yeah, I'm gonna drink water. I'm gonna drink water. Thank you for reminding me one left. Okay, give me just one sec. I'm gonna be right back. Just taking a quick bathroom break. Be right back. All right, I'm over here. Okay. So what were we doing? We were, yeah, checking if like everything is all right with this. Um, Also, I have a problem where the mm, big boy, that's our boss, big boy health bar doesn't show up after the first battle. So that's probably a programming bug. And yeah, it's a bug. It's gonna be on version 0.2.1, so this needs to be on version 0.2.1. But first, we are going to like check that everything is all right with this. I think I saw something. I'm kind of like, yeah, wondering. Yeah, this subwave index. So subwave index and more if you say I suggest adding log.bug. Yeah, I do. Normally, I do debug.logs. Like you can see if I search here debug. Here I have like I am using a lot of debug.logs, especially for errors. And in other zones too, when I'm debugging something, like specifically, I put messages so I can like guide myself with them. So yeah, I'm gonna make sure to put them when I need them. And if you see, for example, these are messages or debug.log errors that are commented for things that I've tried before, but I leave them commented just to, if I ever have to like deal with something similar or would I have to deal with the same stuff again, I can have them over there and I can just uncomment them. Okay, so I want to go and search for subwave index because maybe I am not really resetting this correctly or something, because I think I have been accessing to I have been accessing this with a number larger than the total of subwaves. Okay. Why the thinking phase? Why not? Why the thinking phase? Dude, whenever I see that, I just can't stop thinking about uh this. Hmm. I just can't stop thinking about it. Okay, so let's go over here again. And yeah, subwave index. We have a problem where this either is -1, which I don't think it's gonna be -1, or like a negative number, or this goes over the limit or how many subwave datas we have. So let's see wherever like every single place where we're using this. Let's see if we are assigning it incorrect, like not correctly. Okay, so we have subwave index. Yeah, we're checking it against subwave data, but I want to check not for. I want to check for assignment. Let's say equals. Yeah, so on start new wave, the subwave index is going to be 0. But I would also like to make it 0 when I would also like to make it 0 when I get to the maximum. So when am I making it go up? It's on subwave ended. Only there? Yeah, only there. So I can't stop laughter. It's a silly meme. Okay, so over here, subwave index plus plus. And then am I checking for something else? So where am I checking this again? Subwave index. Mm, Okay, on subwave ended, I have the twinning dissolve equals true. I do a do twin if the current wave data, subwave data's that length is more than subwave index and current wave data, subwave datas. Okay, basically, if there are more waves, like the length. So for example, if I have 5, let's say I have 5, it's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be the largest number that I can have. That's going to be valid. So I start counting from 0. And let's say we are on number 3. And we are number 3. We're going to go number 4. So over here, let me just, I can make this bigger too. So if you want to see better. So over here, let's say I'm on number 3. I'm on number 3 and I go to 4. That's going to be the last index. It's going to be the 5th position of the array, but the 4th number, you know? So let's say that our subwave index is 4 and our current wave data or subwave data length, so how many subwaves we have on the wave, is it has to be more than that number. So if length in this case is going to be 5 and our subwave index is going to be 4, so that means that is going to be true. In iLies, you say, may I have permission to remodel your game and edit your game and stuff like that? Because I want to edit it a little. I found the game folder. I'd like to change some stuff on it. It won't affect your file. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. You have my permission to you have my permission to modify the game, like mod it and whatever, but don't extract my code directly. And don't extract my assets directly. That's all I ask. And also, is there a protection in your game, like protection for from other people to like get the game? I think if you, it's serialized, but you can serialize it. So yeah, you could illegally copy my game, but you have my permission, iLies. You have my permission as long as you don't use like my assets and like directly copy my code. Yeah, it's already encrypted. Okay. So current subway data. Yeah, in this case, 5 is 5 more than 4. Yes. So this is gonna be true. And the current wave data or subwave datas in the subwave index is not null. So that means that the wave, yeah, like I basically can use this. Yeah, so it will go to 4. It will go to 4, and that's going to be the last one. But if it goes to 5, it's not going to be able to use it, and it's not going to be it's not going to be. It doesn't exist basically. So this is fine. And I like to say I'm going to make the model character cool kid from Roblox. I don't know the character, but go ahead. Go ahead. I would like to see that. And Osnok is here, says read all of they Osnok here. I can't watch the stream today because I have my exam next day. I'm here to add my attendance and to say Roman is a Pokemon, as well as Nick. Mijo, therefore, W Moinelef. Well, thank you for joining and passing by to say hi, Asnok. Really, really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you when you have more time. Good luck with the exam. Good luck. All right. So let's go over here. So wave ended. If it's either, I think the problem here might be that I might be checking for a non-existent subwave data. So I'm gonna put the if over here, just in case. Mm, Here, when I unlock the hub, I'm also going to make sure that the sub wave index equals to 0. So I reset that. That's super important to reset that. And when if you say I'm thinking about how to start my dream game, I don't want to start right away because I'm a beginner. I would advise against starting your dream game now, because it can be discouraging. Like the first, I don't know, month or 2 months or even 3 months are gonna be super cool. But if it's longer than that, you're gonna be like stuck with a project that you want to continue, and you may lose the passion. Now, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. You can do it, and like, yeah, you'll be able to do it anyway. It's just gonna be harder, and there are a lot of people, especially beginners, that start their dream game and drop it like years later because they don't want to stop working at it because they love their dream project, but it just there since they started as a beginner, there is so much to clean up that it's very very hard to finish it. So I would advise you start with a smaller project. Maybe think of a game that you can make in a week, and you will be able to finish it in 1 or 2 months. For real, I'm being for real. I remember I tried to like one of the first games that I did was I tried to like make a game in one day, and I took 2 weeks. And then I wanted to make a game in 2 weeks, and I spent like 2 months. So yeah, it's not that you're not going to be eventually making bigger projects. It's just that it's better if you do smaller things, so you get more experience quickly. Now that you're a beginner, so then when you're tackling bigger projects, you have like more experience. Okay, so over here, I'm just gonna move this over here because I have a hunch that might be causing an exception. I think that's it because where is the only other place where I'm assigning this? It's on start new wave, and it does make sense to start it here, but I'm gonna have like a double check just to make sure. Double check. Okay, so I believe if yeah, let's go over here, and I need to make sure that inside the hub, there basically enemies can't spawn there. And how do I make that? The enemies are checking for valid ground. If you see over here, everything that's shown as blue is like a walkable path for the player, and if there is a walkable path, that means they can spawn there. So what I'll do is make this ground over here uh, not blue. Basically, they can't spawn here. So how do I do that? I want to go to the hub, or first let's close the managers, or will I? Yeah, let's close the managers. I want to access the map, and on the map I have the hub shield, but there are more things over here. Yeah, let's go to the hub building. So the hub building, I think somewhere over here I had made this like not being able to walk in here. And Mon, I love you say thanks, Roman. You say thanks for the advice. I'm a few minutes behind on the stream because of the internet. Yeah, no worries, no worries. And yeah, it's a pleasure if I can give you advice. I hope it's very helpful for you. Okay, so in here, to bake them up, I want to remove the decorations. So I have the decorations set in one place. I'm going to remove them. Then what else? Fences I want to keep. Half shield, I'm gonna keep it up. I might have. Yeah, I have the nav mesh surface blockers. So I need to make sure that all of these mesh renderers are enabled. And really what I could do over here is, yeah, make sure those blocks are enabled and I think if I bake now, we should be kind of fine. Because I need to bake two maps. Let's do, let's go to normal mode because I was on debug. Let's bake one and bake the other. Yeah, and they're still here. I think I will have to do on the hub building. I may have to do like a block or something. Let's duplicate the hub shield because I thought that if I had the hub shield activated, it wouldn't let me go through it, you know. And Yanis Cotares said, "What you doing, bro? Making a game?" Yes, exactly that. Welcome to the stream, Yanis. Welcome. So yeah, I'm doing a magic game. I'm currently, you see this blue zones over here, like everything painted blue. Those are like paths where my enemies can walk, and I'm just trying to really find them because sometimes there are enemies spawning right here in the hub where they shouldn't be. And yeah, here's the character, by the way. Here's the player, and yeah, I'm just trying to make sure that this part over here is not painted blue. And more left, you say, can I see how you make the walking sounds? I didn't make the walking sounds myself. I tweaked them, but I took them from Open Game Art. So that's a and I also freesounds.org. So that's like a website where you can get assets, especially like sound effects. That's where I get my sound effects from. Also, what are those lines? What lines? The like these things, the blue lines over here, like everything blue is like matches, where my enemies can walk. And for example, here these are drop off points where some of my enemies can like jump from one position to another. Okay, so over here we have to have some sort of structure. Let's do a 3D cube. And I want to cover the whole thing. If I bring it over here, I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna add component, I'm gonna make this nav mesh or nav mesh obstacle or nav mesh modifier volume. And I think if I bake now, it's gonna cut that off and bake this other one. Let's do. If I disable the cube now, no, it doesn't really care about it. Yeah, this area is not walkable, and all of the agents are affected. And Tali is here. What's up, Tali? Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Say hi there. How's it going, Tali? And I like the new logo. Like I can see the TV very clear now. Okay, so if I were to bake it now, will it have any effect? Let's do bake and bake. Oh. Yeah, not what I intended. Not what I intended. Because this may be like super scale, so I'm just gonna do 1, 1, 1 on every single side. I'm gonna do 0. I'm gonna bake this again. Let's do map, bake, and bake. I think that will fix it. That should fix it. So now enemies are not gonna get there. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Let's go over here on the cube. I'm just going to call this hub modifier or hub nav mesh modifier volume. I'm just going to disable this because we don't want it to show up. It's just for setting that up. And tell you say thanks. It's based off an old one. Anyway, what are you working on? So I'm working on. Well, we had a problem where when we got to. Let me show you in the game. Let me show you in the game. Let me put the decorations back. Let me put this disabled, and we should be fine. Now I'm just gonna save. I'm gonna press play, and let me go to one zone because the problem that I was fixing a problem basically. I was bug fixing, and the bug that I was trying to fix and that I fixed is basically when you go to the zones. You know that I'm like basically counting on the back, like on the back end on the code. I'm counting which enemies are you killing, and according to that. I keep track of the ones that you have remaining, and when you don't have any more remaining, I'm gonna make them this cube drop its shield, so you can defeat them, like you can clear the wave. And the thing is, sometimes the counting wasn't working correctly, so the shield didn't drop. But now I think it is working fine. Also, there was another problem where some enemies spawned inside the hub, and that's what I was just fixing. You saw that there was in the hub there was like painted blue. So now it's no longer painted blue, so there is no navigation for any of my enemies to go there. Like they can't really spawn or get there. So yeah, that's it. Like making sure that my enemies can't go and can't spawn inside the hub, because that causes problem where the player can't really or doesn't really know that the remaining enemies of the wave are over there, so he can't kill them. I just want to make sure everything's working all right. I'm just gonna do one more test. I'm then gonna commit the changes. I want to go to the boss to make sure that everything's working fine. And now I think the error is still there, because if I check over here, let's see. Yeah, as you can see, now there are no longer, like, there are no more enemies in like anywhere. There are no enemies alive. But I think if I go to the wave manager, Azu managers, wave manager, here I have something. I have to go to the debug mode. I have a list of my alive enemies, and I have an alive enemy which is over here. Is over here, but it's really yeah, let me put it over here. So you see, I have this alive enemy that is disabled. So if I were to enable it, you see it's like already dead, but it's still being counted as alive. So I need to make sure Yeah, for example, here, like he can't really do anything because it's dead. Can't really do anything. I would need to reset it. But yeah, that would make it go away. Now the problem is, really, there are some places where even though I call the enemy death, it doesn't get it away. It doesn't really remove it from there. So what I would like to do is on enemy death, because that's the only place where I check this enemy death. I'm gonna check if can spawn equals false and alive enemies that count. Yeah, I'm gonna do a bool. Can shield break, and I'm gonna say can shield break equals alive enemies game objects that count is less than 1. And here, if can shield break is more than 0, or sorry, it's false. I want to do a 4. Oh, I don't really want to do a 4 over here because there may be multiple places where I don't know. I have 40 enemies. What could I do? Oh yeah, I'm only going to check this thing if basically if can't spawn is false. Over here, if can't spawn is false, then that's the only place where I'm doing this. I'm gonna do if can shield break. I will do this. Now, if can shield break is still false and alive enemies count is less than 1, is false, I'm gonna do one more thing, and that thing is gonna do a 4. For int I equals 0, I is less than the number of alive enemies game objects, like the game objects that we have over there. I'm gonna do and more left you say yes, I am banned. Banned in what? What are you banned in? And Foxytos is here, says hi. What's up, Foxytos? Welcome to the stream. How's it going? How's it going, Foxytos? So yeah, over here, I'm gonna check for the count, how many enemies we have, and for every single one of them, I am going to do. I'm going to basically get the ones that are enabled out. So if alive enemies game object I dot, I think over here I could have, when I define it, I'm gonna have another private list of game objects alive enemies game objects cleanup list, and it's gonna equal a new list of game objects, so I don't have to constantly create new lists. And yeah, over here I'm just gonna do if alive enemies game objects that I active self, so it is enabled, is false, so it's not enabled. I am going to say then add to the cleanup list. So alive enemies game of cleanup list, add, and I'm going to add the alive enemies game objects, the current one, so with index I. And after I do that 4, I'm gonna do another 4 after it, so it's gonna be int e equals 0. E is less than the number of alive enemies in the cleanup list that count. I'm gonna do e plus plus, and now the only thing that I would like I would have to do is if the alive enemies game objects list contains the current alive enemies in the cleanup list, E. What happened over here? And more left, you say how to delete things and respawn. You have two methods. One is just destroying the object and instantiating a new one. Like the same way you spawn, you respawn. And the way that normally every single game uses, that is better, is having a list of your enemies. So for example, whenever you spawn an enemy, instead of just spawning it, you're gonna make it appear, and then you're gonna put it in a list at the moment of spawning. So when the enemy has to die, instead of destroying that enemy, or instead of destroying that enemy, you're just going to disable that enemy. And next time you want to spawn an enemy, you are going to, if you have one in the list, you are going to enable that enemy that you already spawned before. And if you don't have an enemy that's disabled, you can create a new one and also add it to the list. So if, for example, you have spawned 3 enemies and you have killed the 3, then all of those enemies, the 3 enemies that you have spawned, are in that list, just disabled. Okay. So when you want to spawn 4, you're going to use 1, 2, 3, enable those 3 that you already have spawned, and spawn a new one and put it to the list again. And Foxitos, you say, how was your day? It's going fine. Going absolutely fine. And how is your day going, Foxitos? And Art, you say, you're modeling 2 things, Roman. What am I modeling, Art? What am I modeling? Okay, so over here, I basically described object pooling in a very, very simple way. Yeah, it's not that hard. Like basically you spawn an enemy, put it into a list. Instead of destroying it, you're going to disable it. And when you want to spawn a new one, you're going to check, okay, do I have any disabled enemies? If I have them, I'm going to enable them instead of creating a new one. And if I don't have any more, I'm going to create a new enemy and put it to that list. That's it. And Jamapa says, hello. What's up, Jamapa? Welcome to the stream. How's it going? And Tell, you say, has anyone got a small game idea? Do an infinite runner. That's a very, very good small game idea. And you say, for example, you will have a registration pattern, sir. However, you're combining puller and management. Keep it simple, right? So the enemy manager cares about the enemy state. The object puller cares about the object state. But if you want to have a simple setup, that's you can have them more separated, but there is no need to if you just have it as a puller, or you could have a puller for everything, as I think you have, and then having managers for all the rest of the stuff. And more left, you say, for example, I built a script for a month and wanted to sell it for $5. How? You can put it on the asset store or something, but you'll have to get people to know about it. And Foxitos, you say, I go now to bed. It's 10 p.m. in my country. Bye-bye. Good night. Well, thank you for passing by, Foxitos. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Rest well. Okay, so over here, alive enemies game objects. If it contains the object that we're seeing over here, iterating through in the list, And why is it throwing error? It says cannot apply indexing with to an expression of type method group. Oh, because this goes with brackets. Okay, now if it contains that, I want to remove it from there. So I'll do alive enemies game objects, and I'll do remove, and I want to remove the alive enemies game objects cleanup list and E. And after I do all of that, I want to say alive enemies game objects cleanup list. I'm gonna say clear, so I don't want to have so I just get everything that was over there cleared, no longer in the list. And Godfather, you say bye, Roman. It's midnight in my country. Well, bye bye. It was a pleasure having you here too, Godfather. And I'll see you next time. Rest well. Bye bye. And Art, you say, for example, an enemy that dies may have invariant types or animations. This can become problematic if logic depends on it. And generally, for objects, you do not need to worry about such minutia. What do you mean with invariant types or animations? Like, for example, if I, like, the only thing that I can think about is if you have an enemy dying and it's gonna play like a die animation. Is that what you're talking about? And tell you say, I'm sorry, but I can't do an infinite runner. Yeah, no worries, no worries. So do you have any ideas of what you'd like to do? You can always join a game jam. That's a good place to start simple projects. Spawn or death animations. Um, you can always disable the object when the animation ends, or like make it. Yeah, I suppose if you're gonna do the spawning thing, like if you're having an animation on spawn, well, like if it's disabled, like you could use it anyway. I still don't see what the problem is with that. You could have inside, for example, the object, like if it's dead, if it's an entity, or if it's whatever, and you can have a health script. If it can die, then you have a way to manage that death. And when it's dead, you can like just disable any sort of uh, logic in there, and like play the animation for dying. And what's gonna control the death is the end of the death animation. Okay, so what is next? Yeah, I just want to check if that thing is solved now. Because it has happened to me more times in the first wave than any other. Give me just a sec. I'll read you. Art. Give me just 1 second. I'm trying to defeat this wave, and I'm gonna read you. Okay, fine. You say art, right, and then you remove it from the player list. So now you need to extend logic for, let's say, you call purge on all enemies, and an enemy is in the middle of death. You have that then creates a tango of gating things. Like, let me think about what you're saying. So purge in this context would be like deleting all enemies. Is that what you're talking about? Or disabling all? And yeah, because I don't understand. Because if you're disabling them anyway, yeah, what does purge mean? What are you talking about when you say purge? And tell you say, you know what? I'm gonna just play DK or something else instead. Donkey Kong. You're playing Donkey Kong. All right, all right. Have fun with it. And are to say, yeah, sure. Purge enemies for a certain event to occur. And Tali say, all right, I'm a dip. Alrighty, Tali, was a pleasure having you here. And I'll see you next time. Okay, have fun and bye bye. I to say the point is calling on an enemy that may be in the middle of the initialization. But if you're purging, I don't really know what you mean with purging over here. Or what you mean with purging in that context. Because even if you wanted to like do something with a lot of enemies, wouldn't you call like a reset inside that entity? Like you could call a reset that puts everything back to what it should be on start again. Yeah, but even though like in that context, if you're just gonna call the death on enemies, and that death has or not an animation, is going to eventually disable them all anyway. Like you're not going to reuse them unless they have finished dying, and even though even if you wanted to in the middle of the animation like make sure they are disabled, you would still be able to use them if they are already in the middle of disable. If they are already, well, if you want to disable and you have like some sort of, I don't know, you're gonna call let's say every entity has a script, you know, in that case, or if you want to disable as an object, is that what you mean? If you want to disable as an object, and you can check, well, you can do checks for checking if you're in the middle of disabling, right? You now need to gate. Yeah, that would be the gate, checking for the disable. The problem isn't if you can't do it, it's that it leads to needing flags and gates. I don't see how I don't see how in this context at least would apply. But sure, you would need to take the precautions in case that some context would really happen. Like in this game, like there wouldn't. I don't think there would be any case where that might happen. And Aryan, you say, "Hi, bro. What are you doing?" I was just fixing something. I was fixing some problem with this thing not dropping its shield, so you wouldn't be able to damage it. But now I think now it's fixed. And welcome to the stream, by the way. Welcome. How are you? And Art, you say, here's an example IRL. Yeah, maybe I'll understand better with an example. Okay, so I was just checking because there were some parts or some places where whenever you finish the wave, it didn't really drop the shield, but I think it's fixed now because I had like a hidden list where I put every single alive enemy, and I was checking for that list. That list of the alive enemies had to be 0 for the wave to end, basically, or for the shield to drop. And the problem was not killing the enemies or disabling them. It was that on that list, the disabled enemies were still there for some reason. So yeah. Yeah, let's go. There, I want to try one more time. And I just say we have bosses, mobs, etc. all eventually going through a single pass death count. Okay. For this part, I'm going to have the fireball ready. Yeah, let's see. The I found that problem like mostly on the first wave, but I think it's better if I check every single wave, because it could be like just not happening on the first one now, and I decide to like stop checking, and it happens on the other ones. Okay, where do we have this? I have. Do I have enabled enemies? I don't think I have any. So if I go to Wave Manager, and inside Wave Manager, I still have enemy ice clone. Why is that dude alive? I'm literally checking for that, for disabled enemies. Okay, let's check this again, because I think the main problem is on enemy death. And I to say, I mean the plus side, I guess, is if you do model enemy registration with pulling registration, then when things in that condition fail, it does so silently. You'll never know that you're targeting the wrong enemy. Disabled, enable, lol. Um, yeah, maybe things are cleaner that way. And are you say, what is this game? Well, the game that I've been working on for 4 months now or something. Basically the same, the same game that you have been seeing when you join. And maybe are you a different Aryan? Because we have a person in the community that's also called Aryan. So have you ever been to this stream before? And I can say, well, you would figure it out when you can't figure out why something is behaving oddly. Well, I guess so. I guess so. Maybe it's just that I haven't had that problem before, and that's why I don't comprehend why. Um, okay. So here on enemy death, let's see what I'm doing over here. Just here, if gun spawn is true, I'm saying, then I'm going to increase the amount in the enemy quota achieved, and here, if enemy quota achieved is more or equal than the enemy quota, I'm gonna set the can spawn to false. Now, if can spawn equals false, oh, I forgot to get this out of here. If can spawn equals false, I'm gonna do a can shield break bull, and it's gonna be, yeah, if it's false, I am going to do the check. Because if can spawn is false and I keep like defeating stuff, I would need to get the list cleaned. Okay. Let's see. I think now it should be fine because I forgot to delete the first one of the checks that I had before. That I'm also like doing another time. So let's see. Also, art. What are you working on now? Because I think before I went live, I saw you were streaming. So what are you working on now? And how is everything going with the development? Okay. No problems in this wave. Then what are the other problems that we have? Because I think if we fix this, I think this is already fixed. Because enemies are being counted correctly. The thing is, the invincible cube. Now we're fixing this, to be honest. It's because, yeah, enemies not being counted correctly. But it should be fine now. Or at least that's what I'm trying to fix now. Let's go to the next zone. And I think I'll just try sometimes. I don't know how many. Probably like getting to the boss. And one more after getting to the boss. So I can check if everything is working as it should. And hard to say, but it's mostly bug squatching there. I think one of your messages might got flagged if you didn't say, because the last message that I got from you, before the mostly bug squatching there, is well, you would figure it out when you can't figure out why something is behaving oddly. Dude, YouTube flagging is working insanely bad these last days, so that's why I asked you. And yeah, but you say it's mostly bug squatching on your end then. Any particular one that has been annoying, or just simple stuff? I wrote taking a mental break. Okay, all right. Yeah, it's very needed, especially when you're well, you know more than anyone else. You have been developing games for a long time now. But yeah, you can get very like into problems that you can get in a foggy mental state after being with the same problem for a long time, or just like bug fixing for a long time. And what about deadlines? Have they given you like deadlines for anything in particular now? And Arjun, you say, who are you talking to? I'm talking to Art. So there are two streams running. There is the vertical stream, which you probably are in, and there is the horizontal stream. And yeah, if you want to join the horizontal stream, you have a better layout and your own custom avatar. So I would encourage you to join. You can do it with the pinned comment on the comment section. There's a link over there. And that way, like, you can see way better what is happening over here. And yeah, you get your own little character, your own little avatar. Alrighty. Okay, now still having that problem. Let's see if we even have enemies somewhere. Do we have enemies? Magic impact projectile. Let's check on the wave manager again. We have flying enemy clone. Still can't get rid of it. And yeah, you are on the horizontal stream now. So yeah, there was art before. We had art before. Yeah, art. You say I have a feature complete project where I create my ideas. I get an idea and make it from absolute nothing. That's nice. It's very cool. Mm, your is that part of your game Journey West, or that's like a separate project that you have? Mm, okay, so what might be? Because I would clear this, but that might uh cause problems. Because I could do, if count spawn is false, then I could just do this instead. I'm just gonna comment every single thing over here. And I could just do alive enemies game objects dot clear. But if I clear them, I still haven't I still haven't defeated all of the enemies. So I can't really do the shield break. And are you say so? The dev lead wanted effect to burn and spread, etc. So like a week ago, I made it from scratch and tested it. Took 7 hours in stream. But made the effect, the players, enemy spawner, camera, etc. all live. Awesome, awesome, very cool. In 7 hours, dude, that's super fast. Um, yeah, I still can't figure out why. Yeah, if I clear this over here, and I haven't, because I can have enemies lying around before. Yeah, I can have enemies lying around, so the wave is not ended yet. Mm. Or let's try this out because it might work. It might work. Otherwise, I'll have to like find a way to like get those disabled enemies out of that list. And Arjun, you say, "Yo, bro, answer my question." I answered your question. Is it? Was your question? Is this it? Yeah, it is. And I haven't gotten any other message from you, so maybe it got flagged because YouTube sometimes with some like random comments says, "Okay, that might be like a suspicious comment," so I'm just gonna not show it. So that might be the case if you wrote something else. Yeah, let's see again. Because this is still like defined by the quota that you have to achieve. So it might work. Say Aryan. Okay. Yeah. And Archie say, now that I see the name, it is very familiar. The name Aryan. Yeah, because there's I thought Aryan. Well, yeah, since we have two Aryans now in the community. Well, there is already one Aryan in the community, and I thought it was him, but no, it's a new person. So welcome to the stream, Aryan. That's what I was confused too in the beginning when you just joined, Aryan, because I thought you were someone else. Okay, now. Yeah, I would have guessed like this needed to work. Let's go on Wave Manager again. Like I just can't figure out why. If I okay, a live enemies game object is set to 0. So there are no longer like enemies. This would need to drop. Oh, yeah, this doesn't only need to drop, but also would need to do spawner core shield script shield break. And Arjen, you say help reply. It is new to me too. Really, it is new to me. Yeah. I know. I just was confused at the beginning. And Art, you say the most recent streams was a new idea for Delta-driven voxel engine. The idea is to render maps on a single mesh, chunk those meshes, but then use Delta to inform voxels. Then shape the mesh and fill in the voxels at the point of interest. I understood half of it. Let me reread this. Render maps on a single mesh. Okay. Chunk those matches. Okay, like in Minecraft, like you have your chunks. Then delta to inform voxels. I'm lost there. What's delta in there? What is delta? And you say then shape the mesh and fill in the voxels at the point of interest. And so you're using it for okay, shaping the mesh. And what would be the point of interest? Yeah, those are the only things that I didn't get. What's the delta? And what's the point of interest? Okay. Let's try one more time. It's like, yeah, I have to like make the shield drop now. Okay, give me 1 sec, and I'll read your message, Art. No measure function. No measure function. I need to check these messages. I've never gotten that message before. I'll check it, but okay. So the shield dropped, that there are enemies still. So here I make sure the shield drops, but I shouldn't drop it over here because what would be the ideal behavior? Yeah, this is not it. Okay. So, are you saying the idea is to render map single match, chunk to those matches? Yeah. Delta is temporal. You have a delta of the spatial data. The space is the point. So, for example, if you try to dig a spot, the 2D mesh creates a shape. Got it? And voxels fill the space simulating the dig. Result. Allowing for the mesh to create a new seed to include things like caves and so on. So this would be for, yeah, it's like another way of having like destructible maps, and like basically like voxels with that can be like altered and destroyed. Is that what you are talking about? But in this case, you can like alter the shape of the voxel. Is that what you mean? Or if there are multiple, like you're gonna like take the shape and subtract or alter the voxels with that shape? And are you saying, so since we have a delta, we can go from the delta back to the original shape of things because we know the column's original SID. Oh, okay. Like well, in Minecraft they do the same too. Like they with the SID, if you wanted to, like you can put it you can put it back. Okay, alive enemies game objects. I want to check what those messages were before. No measure function set. I have to really read this. So you can watch replays, etc. I see. Well, that sounds very cool. Sounds very cool. I don't know if you have seen the video. I just watched the thumbnail, but there's a video about a guy that made basically Git in Minecraft. Like you can go back to previous versions and stuff. And are you say, bro, there are so many AI game making apps. What is the difference? The difference is that you have way more control. And I would encourage you to try making a game with AI. You will see the results you will get. If you can get something great, like that's awesome. But I haven't seen any single AI tool that have the ability to make like a good game that you have control over what's really happening in the game yet. Maybe in the future. And hard to say, but in our case, we store only two: the current and the past. So like the current and the starter. Is that what you mean, or are you gonna? Yeah. Hard to say. Yeah, Roman, click the make game button on top of Unity. Yeah, I don't know why I've always been like super lazy. I don't want to click that make game button. Well, maybe one day I'll try. Uh, yeah, sure. I have to make sure that I have multiplayer enabled. Uh, okay, so over here, let's see if count spawn equals false. Well, what is enemy quota achieved? I'm only increasing this if whenever I kill an enemy. So if alive enemies contains the enemy game object, I'm passing that game object. I am removing it from the list. Yeah, I'm removing it from the list. Mm. And are you say I will try your game in Play Store? It's not going to be released on mobile, but feel free to try it out in PC if you can and want. Um, yeah, let me read this carefully because I would guess like the first check, like the first if of a live enemy's game object contains the current enemy, because when I kill an enemy, I tell the enemy whenever you like finish being being disabled or like destroyed, I want you to tell me the amount that you're worth in terms of, yeah, like there's amount, every single enemy has one. um and I want to like make you pass your own game object. So I take that game object out of the alive enemies. So if it contains that, I'm going to remove that. Yeah, that's it. Now, if can spawn is true, I'm gonna say enemy quota achieved. And set color intensity. And Arjun, you say, what are you working on? I am working on. We currently have a bug where when you defeat the wave, like there are these zones in the game. Let me show you. You saw that there are some like red zones that you enter, and some enemies start spawning. The desired behavior that we want for them is that when you go to them and you defeat all the enemies in there, you basically make the shield of that cube that is in the middle of it drop. So you can destroy the cube, and that will allow you to go to the next wave. The problem is that the shield is not dropping, and I'm trying to make it drop. And the thing is, there is a list of the enemies that are alive, and that list have to be empty for the shield to drop. Like there shouldn't be any single enemy on that list, and currently there are. When you finish destroying all of them, there are some enemies that are disabled but are still like part of it, you know? And it only happens sometimes. Like for example, now it didn't happen, and you can destroy this thing in the middle, and you can go to the next zone. But it's just sometimes it happens. I literally put it back to what it was before, and I have not gotten the error now. So I try to add shield with the player. Like I'm putting a shield for the player, like a spell or something like that. That's what you mean? I could do something like that. I'm gonna add that to the feedback. Let me put it over here in feedback. So player shield. Let me put your comment over there. There we go. So when I check all the feedback, I'll see your message over there, so I don't forget. Okay, it worked this time, but I'm not sure if it's gonna work all the time. Let's see over here. I could also only count the alive enemies. That's another possibility. I could also just count the alive enemies. Okay, this seems to be working now, but I'm still not sure. Just gonna like keep working, you know, for every single time. And the thing is, really, I would like to, or I would have to, like try this multiple times to make sure that it's working. Okay, what have I added? I removed enemy quota achieved and I replaced with spawn timer. Wasn't spawn, can spawn. Okay, alive enemies game object. Clear in line 309. 309. So this is what I added in reset subwave. Okay. And Arjen, you say I think you so I think so I have to go, bro. See ya. Well, thank you for joining. Was a pleasure having you here. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Take care. Um let's see, because a live enemy is not being counted correctly. I would like to like display that whenever whenever I get an enemy death, I would like to display that. So I make sure that the count is going fine. So we could go in here on not subwave ended, but on enemy death, and whenever we do this, we are gonna do well. Should count spawn be true for me to do this? If enemy quota achieved, current wave data, subwave data. I mean, what if I can't spawn? Because when am I setting can't spawn to true? Can't spawn. I'm using it over here, and I'm setting. Where am I setting it to true? Also can spawn equals true. Only on set player in spawn zone. Player in spawn zone and subwave started equals false. Subwave started equals true, and can spawn equals true. That's the only place. And Arjen, what did I say that made you uh put interrogation signs or question marks? Let's see. Set player in spawn zone. Okay, the only place where I'm calling can spawn is over here. Whenever I enter the zone. And there's no other place where I'm doing this. So can spawn, I'm going to search for every other assignment that I have. So can spawn equals true. And then I'm just checking over here. Here I assign it to false. And I think that might be the only other place where I'm assigning it. So over here, I wouldn't really need to check if this can spawn, can happen. Or is true. And you say, what is happening in my message? I don't know. Like, I think it's YouTube. YouTube sometimes filters messages for some reason. Don't really know why. Like it flags them as potentially like harmful or something, and it doesn't display them. Okay, if can spawn equals false, I'm gonna do count shield break is gonna be alive enemies game objects. Count is less than 1. And if that is not true, then Oh, you asked when is my next live? I am Monday to Friday. Yeah, like Monday to Friday, the same time every day. If you want to check the times, it's on the banner of my channel. You can see the times, or over here in Itch, you'll see the times. So yeah, I always start at the same time. And hard to say, this is very much so coming together though. What is coming together? The voxel, the delta voxel? Menu select probably? I think we have a big delay. We may have a big delay. Because I didn't see your messages. They seem like old messages, Art. He can shield break alive. Okay. And if it's false, I'm gonna check for int I equals 0. Oh, why did I forget to do this? Over here, I need to say that the can shield break needs to be or needs to be true over here. So I will do another check in here. After I clear this, I'm gonna ask again. Okay, now that I have removed every single enemy that is not enabled from the list, now is it less than 1? So is it 0? And if it is, then I'm gonna say can shield break equals true. Yeah, I think that was the missing part of the puzzle over here. That might have been it. I think that's fine. Okay, let's try it again now. I would like to check the latency. Is there a way I can check the latency? Because over here, everything seems to be fine. Let me refresh this. Everything seems to be fine over here. And yeah, no delay or anything. And over here, audio stream current bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. Yeah, over here we may have a problem on the vertical one. But I don't know. Seems good on my end. Let's go settings. Stream output. I'm going to increase the bitrate because I put it back to, or I put it to 4,000 before, just because I had problems with my internet. And I just say for the Journey West game, the way combat works is due to normal dashes and can hold direction to do alternate version of attacks. I really like that. I really like that. I don't know how you have. I was gonna say Brawlhalla if you have played Brawlhalla, but it's that part of like that sort of attack doesn't come from there. It comes from like Smash Bros. Probably. Like, are you planning to do something similar to that? Okay, I'm just gonna restart just in case. Restart this just in case. Okay. So getting back to there, dude, I think the whole stream today has been like me trying this out, but it's super important for this to like not be messed up because it's like game breaking, you know? So I'm gonna do one more test, and if we're able to do that, I don't know. I'll probably like move to the other task, and if not, I'll just end it here. Okay, fine. It worked. Now we have to try it a lot more times. That's why I like to to have Mijo and Nick play this, so they can find if everything works, and I can just do the bug fixing. But I don't really like to do the testing myself. Like I get so bored doing the testing. Do you normally do the testing for? Well, I guess when you're working with more people, you're not always the one doing the testing. But for your own projects, are you the one that does the testing, or you just pass it to people that you know? Or like straight up testers. And say I'm thinking that I should add a kind of mechanic where you can learn skills, alternate attacks, and they get added to your pool. You can then, when you do your attacks, build up a gouge. I don't know how to pronounce that, which will, and let me. I'll wait for the continuation of your message. Because if you already continued your message, it didn't show up, by the way. With your comment, I got reminded of... I don't know if you know about a game called Absolver. I'm gonna write it for you, because with my pronunciation, you may not get it. Absolver. And this game is like a martial arts game. It's by the creators of Sifu. Those are like literally the same guys that did Sifu. Did another game before that was also about martial arts. And dude, it was so cool, because whenever you were like, depending on the stance that you had, depending on the direction you were facing, you could do like one attack or another, and you could like choose what attack you would do in which position, so you could basically craft your own combos that you could repeat and like combo your combos. It's super nice. If you haven't seen it, you could check it out for inspiration. Yeah, I'm gonna reset and play it one more time until we get to the boss, and I think I'll let's see what is next, because we have done two tasks. I think I'm gonna fix the health bar of the big boy not showing up after the first battle, and I think I'll leave it there, because it's been like 3 hours, something like 3 hours now. So I think I'll be able to, if everything was fine, I think I'll be able to like, or I get to like the 3 hours probably there, or the 4 hours probably there. For some reason today, messages have been getting flagged a lot. So I don't know. I might have missed some messages before. I'll see if I can disable the flagging, because for now I haven't really gotten anything that I would say, okay, this had to be flagged. And hard to say, yeah, on my stream as well, I realized messages went missing when I went back to get a reference for something a person in stream said. Yeah, it's super annoying. Super annoying, because, for example, in here, like, people generally come and say hi, you know, and I generally like say hi back to them. And if the messages doesn't come through, like I can't even uh like I don't even know that you're here, which is sad. Say maybe deleted when full bring up a skill, the higher your combo interrupted attacks, the faster the gauge builds. When when full bring, yeah, I think that didn't get sent. Um, full bring up a skill, the higher your combo. Uninterrupted attacks. Yeah, that makes more sense. I read it as interrupted attacks. Uninterrupted attacks, the faster the gauge builds. Okay, okay. Yeah, it makes more sense. Yeah, a lot of messages. I'm sorry. A lot of messages get deleted, have gotten deleted today. And need you say, oh, hi, Mark. I'm back. What? What are you talking about, Nick? Oh, the Vine meme? No, I don't get it. I need to do my research. I don't know the meme. Okay, this seems to be working, but I'm getting a lot of errors right now. Object disposed exception. And sillies happened. Yeah, might be. Might be that sillies happened. And I just say, so you get access to more of these alt attacks, and you can link your abilities. In other news, I'll do some server work tonight, and then some Journey West work tomorrow. Epic, epic. I want to see. Do you work on Journey West during stream, or not really? Because I would like to see the progress while you're working on it. No measure function set in this node config. No measure function. Okay, I'm just gonna copy this and I'm gonna put it into exceptions. So I've gotten some very silly exceptions today. An object disposed exception. I want to look that up. Okay, it says an object disposed exception in Unity C# occurs when you try to access a member of an object that has already been disposed. This often happens when managing resources that implement the iDisposable interface, which is not my case, especially in scenarios involving scene reload. Okay, yeah, might be my case. Scene reloads, object pooling, or a specific Unity system like the burst compiler or native collections. Accessing disposed objects directly, the most direct cause is attempting to use a reference after it's disposed. Method or an implicit using statement has been called. Solution: correct the code to ensure the object is not accessed after disposal. Reinstantiate the object if necessary before use, or restructure the code to use a using statement to define a clear scope for disposal objects. And where in which line did that happen? Serialized from an alive enemies game objects array data 12 has disappeared. I'm copying this. Okay. So, um, let's go again over here. Invincible cube. Like, if I fix this too, I think I'll be fine. And I just say, it sounds like you need a flag and a gate for this. A flag and a gate. But the thing is, I'm like, I believe it's throwing me that exception when I do this. When I do the 4 inside the 4, is basically like I'm not really doing anything with the objects that I have over here. It's like just keeping track of enemies that I have. I'm not disabling, I'm not enabling, I'm not doing anything with them, but having them. And need to say I can provide a polish flag, but my front gate is broken. Well, thanks for the help, Nick. And I just say, hey, number 2. What number 2? Um, yeah. So it's weird that I get this error because it's not that I'm even getting rid of the enemies directly. Not getting rid of the enemies directly. I put them into a cleanup list, and then I check for like inside that cleanup list if my normal list contains the object on the cleanup list. I'm going to remove that object, and then I'm gonna clear the cleanup list and like continue with everything. So weird. Also, I suspect like I'm so suspicious about Unity 6.03. I think that's a version. Because I just upgraded to Unity 0 to Unity 6. And it hasn't thrown me like any errors yet. But I'm suspicious, you know? Because I moved it to 6.3.10. And Miho, you're back to say hello, people. I'm back. Welcome back to the stream, Miho. How's it going? So, okay. Well, it seems to be working. It's just throwing exceptions. I'm gonna make it work. If it works, I'm gonna save it, and I'm going to like put into the description. It throws exceptions, so I can fix them later. Because it's not that bad now. But if I were to make a build and that exception gets thrown, I think that's gonna crash the game probably. And we don't want that. And I just say to answer your question, tomorrow I will probably stream development of it. Awesome. I don't know at what time you start, but if I'm not streaming myself, I will be there. And if I am, I will check after. So I'm curious about how your project is going and how it looks. Yeah, let's see. No measure function set in the node config. Yeah, same problems always. And what about no measure function set in the node config? Let me look that up too. No measure function set in the nodes config. In Unity usually occurs when using the search window, especially with built-ins, causing the scene view to go blank. Okay, it's a Unity problem. Undock the search window. I'm literally not searching anything, am I? Yeah, I didn't have the search open at all. I'm tempted to just joink, and I'm gonna open it again. Open the project again. Because I might just get these problems because I just moved to a newer Unity version, and it might have problems, you know. And I just say, Roman, the only exception that matters is the first one. Okay. Yeah, I'm restarting Unity just so I don't get that one. But yeah, I'll see what to do about that one. I mainly like care about having my checkpoint of having fixed that, and if it throws exceptions, I'll fix the exceptions later. I just want to see if, for some reason, okay, I haven't gotten any errors so far. So it might have been just Unity, and I was stressing over that. And everything seems to be fine now. Yeah, classic Unity. Yeah, sometimes I get worried about things that could just be solved with a quick restart. But I got a little bit curious. Like I've never gotten those exceptions in particular. No, this one. This one, the object dispose exception. That one. But it doesn't make a lot of sense. And Nick is over on Discord with an empty character. Okay. I'm just gonna get to the boss, and if I get to the boss without problems, I will dance. But I'll be happy, so I can move on and like do a commit. And Mijo always say his YouTube chat is straight up broken. Yeah, I don't know. It might be stream avatars. I don't know, because in here, like I can see everything. Yeah, I can see art in here. In my other chat, I can see everything. Is there any other message that I haven't gotten? No, I got from Arian. We made the effect, the player sent me spawner, camera, etc. all live. I think it's fine. I don't know. You say, like new filter, I think. Might be. Didn't you have an update to, like, you can see on the dashboard, on the YouTube dashboard, when they do like a large updates, and they like post it there. But I haven't checked it. Like I never check it. When it's something big, like you'll know, because YouTubers will start complaining. Need to say, I can't say dead anymore. It gets deleted in chat. What a nightmare. I need to make sure I tweak that. But why would they enforce something without asking me first? Because I have basically the lowest level of filtering that I can have without well, what comes after basically no filter at all. Oh yeah, I have a particle effect for the. Are you talking about the like that overlay, that color when I get hit, for example, by these guys? Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I ended up doing like a shader for them, so every single one of these guys uses a custom shader that has a channel you can change the color and how the first nail looks. So it's like the basic one, but with an extra option for the first nail. Oh. Dang. I need to make the multiplier higher for the damage when it's staggered. I said the same thing like an hour ago, but I still need to do that. And oh yeah, particle effect for the path trail. Yeah, I ended up going with that because the other thing, like, it worked, but it didn't really look. It barely looked like it wasn't even decent, you know? It sucked. But yeah, we have a new particle system. Okay, the normal magic projectile is super good against this guy now, because the previous strategy was making, like, damaging him with the ice bomb, but now the ice bomb is not as powerful as it was. The main thing about it is that you can slow him down, but it doesn't really deal that much damage. Say, for the path trail, get the path and have a particle follow the path. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing. Where's the... Oh, he fell. That's it. Nice. I don't think we have the problem anymore. If you find it again, I'm gonna probably have version 0.2.1 this week. So if you find it, let me know, and I'll try to solve it again. But I think it should be solved now. Guiding mist, very cool. And Miho is saying, my bot sent the messages, but they got filtered. Yeah, Judov is censoring moderator straight up. And Sir God is over here. Cheese says, guys, was Samek on stream today? I don't know. Samek. And Art to say, yeah, you probably just need to speed it up. Yeah, it could use some tweaking. Like, for example, let me see if I can tweak it for now. Let me do something to it. Let's see. Let's go towards our particle. It's better. It's better than we had before. Like, believe me, it is way better than we had before. Than the thing that we had before. So it's currently using a sphere. I think I could make it so it rotates towards the direction that it's facing, and we could use a cone. Let me go to normal mode, and the shape I could use a cone. I could rotate it this way, minus 90, minus 90. I'm gonna make it, make the angle be like super short, like maybe, I don't know, 10. And the radius of like basically 0, or like something super low, 0, 1. An angle of like that. And let's see how it looks, because I still need to like make it. I think something like that would be fine, or would be better. You know, it was such a simple fix, but it's really better this way, I believe. Yeah, it's outrunning me, but it's not outrunning me, or well, it's gonna like come back to me if it gets super far, but I can really like go with it, you know. It has, I think, the same speed as the player, or slightly lower. And if it gets like super like far away from you, it's gonna like go back to where you are. And Miho say donate graphic stock. Could you restart something? Menu shows up, but when I do anything, it dies. No animation. Okay. So I said the opposite. I said it's too slow because you can't outrun it. Oh, okay. Okay. Let me put it to. Well, the speed now is 9.5. The speed of the player is 10. So I could do it like, how fast should it be? We can try 14. We can try 14. And let me press play because I want to do the same modification that I did in just, yeah, it was like just doing a shape of, yeah, let's do shape of cone. We're gonna do the rotation of minus 90 on the Y, I believe. And angle of, let's say 15, and radius of 0.1 or 0.25. And let's press play. Is that better? What do you say? You say, smart thing to do. Okay. Now, gonna save. Gonna go GitHub. And over here, I'll do. Well, I fixed two things. So basically, one was a live enemy is not counted correctly on invisible cube. Invincible cube. Um, wave manager issues. Fix. Enemies count. And core shield. shield not dropping. Not dropping. Dropping. Yeah, like that. So the enemies were not counted correctly in the wave manager. Some enemies could appear inside the hub and weren't able to get out of it. Yeah, and what else? The shield, the core shield now drops when it should, and there are no longer disabled enemies um, in the alive enemies list. Also, yeah, I think that's it. Let's do commit 9 files to main and push to origin. That's fine. Now, let's move this over here. Done. And invincible cube. Done. So, for version 0.2.1, we have only 3 tasks left. One of them is the health bar doesn't show up after the first battle. I think I'm just gonna. It's pretty easy, a pretty easy fix, I think. I'm just gonna leave it for tomorrow, and also enemies sometimes get stuck on the map. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave all of those 3 for tomorrow, and I'm gonna leave it here. So tomorrow we're gonna do those last tasks. We're gonna do a build of the game, see if it runs, and we'll have version 0.2.1. And probably on Friday, then, if tomorrow is Thursday, yeah, it's probably on Friday, I'm going to come with more. Yeah, with the things that are going to be in the next version prepared. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you all of you guys for joining. Really, really, really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. So bye bye. Take care. See ya. Thanks for joining me. Bye, Art. See ya. Bye, Nick. Bye, Mijo.